This family lives in a messy and dark place, belonging to piles of basements. Every now and then, drunks come to their window to pee. Not a single member of the family has a job, living by taking part-time jobs every day. It didn't take long. Their lives have undergone tremendous changes. They live in a luxurious villa, drinking various top-notch wines, comfortably enjoying the beautiful scenery outside the window. How did they do it? The Zioe family are all unemployed vagrants. Mom and dad lost everything due to investing in Taiwan cake. From now on I will never recover. Zioe failed the college entrance examination 4 times. 5 stations for preparing for the exam, and her younger sister Gisaengchung dropped out of school because she couldn't afford the tuition fees. A muddled life every day, in the basement of the restaurant, and occasionally endure drunken men urinating in front of their windows. It's okay. Today Zioe's successful high school friend shouted loudly at him. The car compensated by Taiwanese vagrants has been restored. He came to Zioe's house, gives them a stone for transportation, and tell them that this is his father's relationship. I finally got it. After a few pleasantries, he found Zioe alone to drink. He actually wanted to tell Zioe he's tutoring a wealthy man like Jian. Now she has to study abroad, so I want to give this job to my good brother. Let him sustain his basic life. And he also hinted that the hostess was easy to deceive. So Zioe asked her sister, who is good at graphics, to fake a college diploma for herself in an internet cafe. The next day, Zioe excitedly brought his diploma and rushed to the wealthy family's house. Just as I entered, I was shocked by the big villa in front of me. This is a luxurious hostess he couldn't even imagine taking a casual glance at. The diploma is on the side. He values the teacher's teaching ability more, so I asked for a trial class. What kind of thing do you call an adult after calling out that starter? My name is obedient. Do you have it? Don't take Duan Zilong away. 28:30 on Monday. The hostess takes a look. This is professional. Without saying a word, I will pay for Zioe. He passed this test, successfully became Daihu's tutor. When I left, I was still talking nonsense about the words drawn by the wealthy young son. The hostess now trusts Zioe even more. Her conversation box was opened by Zioe. All along the way, I said many praises. Very talented in art, but it's too mischievous. Disobedience to discipline. So Zioe smiled slightly, come up with a plan. She said she has a younger sister from the art department, very high artistic attainments. Soon the hostess was blocked, and the younger sister Zioe mentioned is his own biological sister Zioe. Not long after, he recommended Zioting to the hostess. And this scene happens to be seen by everyone. Wait, go back to her room. She asked Zioe jealous if she liked Zioting. Zioe repeatedly denied. If we compare Zioting to a rose, so that's what he did. Then he used a pen to poke a few times on the draft paper, more likely to have a pleasant smile. Zioe was instantly enchanted. The two of them quietly got together like this. On the other side Zioting also started her teaching, and his approach is full of personality. He kicked the hostess out directly, indicates that one's class cannot be disturbed by anyone. The hostess is anxiously waiting downstairs. I don't know what's going on with my baby. But when he goes upstairs again, but found mischievous trembling, unexpectedly being taught courtesy by the teacher, the hostess was instantly shocked, immediately hired Zioting, and the wealthy man who is on a business trip has also returned. He said it's so late, it's not safe for Zioting to go back alone, so I asked my driver to take her back. But Zioting made a strange move in the car. This woman left something in the car, successfully framed the private driver of a wealthy individual. Originally, he wanted to use this method to have his father take over this position. Dad's driving skills are excellent, driving very fast, but is very smooth and safe. Even the coffee in the hands of the wealthy remains untouched. The wealthy are very satisfied. This new driver now has only one mother left in a family of 4. The position of the butler is very suitable for her. But now the butler has been working here for many years. Very strong business capabilities, deep-rooted, difficult to shake. Just as everyone was in distress, the wealthy family's daughter unintentionally revealed that the butler was allergic to peaches. So the light rain wiped down the peach head, quietly spilled on the butler's head. The butler coughs incessantly, come to the hospital for medical treatment. Then Dad took a picture of the butler. Tell the hostess that the butler has tuberculosis. When the hostess is half convinced, Zioting spilled peach hair on the butler's head again. Just at this moment, the hostess came back and caught a current one. When Dad checks the tissues, quietly filling it with tomato sauce, that's it. The butler was fired. Mom successfully took his place. Finally, all 4 members of the family successfully parasitized in the wealthy family's home. When in use, they pretended not to know each other, but soon his horse's feet were exposed. Gisaengchung smelled out the driver and butler. There is a similar smell on the body. They thought it was a problem with soap, but Zioting expressed that this is a unique smell in the basement. As long as they get rid of the basement, this smell will dissipate. Just as everyone was sighing, the drunk on the street has come to pee again. Their family is no longer what it used to be. The raging little rain and the drunken man, whose father went out to splash water away. Soon it was the birthday of my youngest son, Boisong. Sunny weather, bright sunshine. Their family has decided to go camping. This has made the parasite family extremely happy. They finally became the temporary owners of the house, comfortably enjoying everything in the villa. brother asleep, rich big bed, sister enjoying rich bathtub. At night, a family sitting in the living room drinking whiskey, enjoyment and harmony, and Xiaoyu also told her family at this time. The love between oneself and Dai is just as people fantasize about the scene of Xiaoyu and Dai getting married. But the doorbell suddenly kept ringing. The person outside is wearing a raincoat and laughing incessantly. Watching the particularly infiltrating parasite family seize the villa while the wealthy are away. But as they celebrated, the doorbell kept ringing. The person outside is wearing a raincoat and laughing incessantly, looking particularly penetrating. Turns out he's the butler who was fired before. Tell the butler that he forgot something in the basement. I want to come back and pick up my mother. I followed the butler all the way to the basement, discovered that there was a hidden door in the basement. After entering, I found out that the old butler's husband was still living a soft egg. Manager Yuan told him, "My family went bankrupt due to investing in Taiwan cake. My husband was chased by the underworld. I had no choice but to escape here," requesting her not to report to the police. But at this moment, the sister who was eavesdropping on the side was a cunning one, and I don't know. It's easy to attack and defend now. Xiaoya's family knelt on the ground. Raise your hand to surrender. All of them were recorded into the phone case by the original butler. Suddenly, Mom rushed up while the butler wasn't paying attention. Everyone followed closely behind. Seized the phone. Just as everyone was in chaos, the phone is ringing again. Because it rained heavily at night. The owner's family needs to come back early. We'll be home in 8 minutes. Mom immediately prepares dinner. Xiaoyu and his father dragged the former butler and his wife into the basement. Xia Ting cleans many lives. I really managed my home in just 8 minutes, looking good and tidy. And the other 3 people also managed to escape, but they kept walking, keep going down. I don't know how long I've been gone. Finally arrived at their home. But at this moment, I realized that my home had already been flooded by the rain. The continuous return of water from the toilet to the sewer. Helpless Xiaoting had to sit on the toilet lid. I actually lit a cigarette. Even more despairing is, when Xiaoyu saw the good fortune that his friend had given to his family, unexpectedly floating on the water. He couldn't believe his good brother, who would deceive themselves with cheap fake stones. The next day, the wealthy family is planning a birthday party for Dwasong. Mom, as the butler, arranged the party scene. Dad, as a driver and hostess, purchases ingredients. The son and daughter came as guests. Dad was arranged by a wealthy man to pretend to be an Indian together, and Xiaoyu is currently making love to Dio on the 2nd floor. But in my eyes, I have a lot of worries. Subsequently, he took out the transport stone and walked towards the basement, prepare to solve the soft egg problem, a family. But when he saw the bloodstains from the former butler, I was startled. Then suddenly he was tied around his neck. After solving Xiaoyu, Softy escaped, and then, in front of everyone, he openly killed Xiaoting. Angry mother can no longer ignore any disguise. Picking up the axe and struggling with the soft egg, they successfully subdued him, and the father watched his daughter's life gradually disappear. The accumulated dissatisfaction in my heart is almost uncontrollable. When he saw the wealthy disdaining the poor, finally, it completely erupted, picked up a knife and killed the wealthy man. Xiaoyu was not killed by the smashing, survived by chance. He and his mother were sentenced to right of self-defense, not in prison. And since that day, Dad has disappeared and disappeared. Turns out he ran underground in a mansion. Covert passage. Hiding. If you're hungry, go up and steal something from the fridge to eat. That's it. I don't know how long it took. Xiaoyu knows that his father must still be in the mansion. So he worked hard to earn money, becoming a successful person. Finally, I bought the mansion. Successfully brought my father back to light. To truly become the owner of this house. However, can all of this really be achieved? Losing the college entrance examination without background. By personal effort alone, he can really buy this building based on the average salary in South Korea. A villa that can only be bought after 500 years without eating or drinking.